Thanksgiving, thinking it's just one meal. And it's really not. It's usually at least a 4-day metabolic challenge. So here's how to think differently about it. Plan to enjoy the day, but kind of control the bookends. So what you do before and after the meal matters far more than the meal itself, because you can only consume so much during that single meal. I'm Todd Vande Hei, CEO of Stark, and I've gone from vegan to paleo to keto to carnivore, from cryosaunas to ice baths, to training like an athlete to being injured like one, enhancing my mobility and optimizing my sex hormones with thousands of labs and thousands of scans. I'm surrounded by high-level medical doctors, naturopathic doctors, chiropractors, nutritionists, and strength coaches, all leading me in concert to a state of optimal health. And I'm here to share that journey with you, regardless of your age, your genes, or your medical conditions. Thanksgiving is coming to you. And let's be honest, it's one of the toughest holidays for staying healthy. You've got really rich foods and family stresses and late nights and temptation to just say, screw it until January. I'm sure you've had that conversation with yourself. I certainly have. But the truth is, you don't have to survive Thanksgiving. You can actually, what I would describe as, thrive through it. And Thanksgiving dinner is the top of the slippery slope, one about which I can argue is the catalyst for developing decades-long metabolic syndrome and the pain and anguish that springs from that, leading to an unhealthy annual struggle that gets worse as you get older. This is a very, very common story. And it's depressing, but it doesn't actually have to be. Today, I'm going to share with you how to enable your health system, your metabolism, your digestion, hormones, and even your mindset, so that Thanksgiving doesn't undo all of the hard work you've done so far this year. The biggest mistake people make is going into Thanksgiving thinking it's just one meal. And it's really not. It's usually at least a 4-day metabolic challenge. So here's how to think differently about it. Plan to enjoy the day, but kind of control the bookends. So what you do before and after the meal matters far more than the meal itself, because you can only consume so much during that single meal. It's exactly why we have a pre-Thanksgiving holiday meal community training session the morning before the big dirty meal. So I would suggest you do something like that. By training hard before a meal, you sit down with your family and your friends, depleted of muscle glycogen. That's the sugar that's stored in your muscles for energy. That's the very first place that any sugar, from potatoes to pie, goes first. The more depleted you are, the more likely that sugar will go to work for you by replenishing those glycogen stores, then get put into long-term storage, which is be fat tissue. So don't save calories. Skipping breakfast to make room for dinner, it always backfires. It lowers your metabolism, spikes your hunger hormones. So if you're doing that training session or any other exercise, don't go into it hungry. Just have a normal breakfast like you ordinarily would. Hopefully it maybe is somewhat similar to mine, and go in and have a great training session. The next step is, before the day begins, anchor your health identity. Remember who you are. You're someone who invests in your health, not someone trying to escape guilt after overeating, not someone who is in this health journey for the short term. It is a long-term journey. To expand on this, Thanksgiving is the beginning of a season of sugar and alcohol, as you know. Use your body as if it has massive amounts of energy that should be consumed and used to get both stronger and add a little bit of muscle. So change the way you're thinking about this. If you do it right, you will not see your waistline expand, but you will get bigger in the areas where you probably want. Shoulders, arms, pecs, glutes, maybe some quads. So you can actually put to work the overconsumption of this food, as long as you're doing the proper training along with it, and you essentially leverage those calories. Let's talk strategy. If you want your body to handle Thanksgiving well, and every other party, by the way, that you attend between now and the New Year's, You have to enable your physiology to perform. Train hard the day before, front load protein and hydration, walk after the meals, and make sure you get really, really good sleep through this entire holiday season. Let me expand on those 4 points. Do a glycogen depleting workout, legs, full body, sprints. And what that does is it improves insulin sensitivity so that your body uses carbs more efficiently on Thanksgiving Day. Think aggressive anaerobic training, not aerobic training. To expand from Thanksgiving Day to January, strategically place that training session before the party. So if you have a Friday night party at 7 p.m. for, let's say, Friendsgiving, try to train at 4 p.m. and be done by 5 p.m. Shower up. I mean, come on, you don't want to be a savage. You'll be a little hypoglycemic, and bam, those delicious gluten-free cookies, they go straight to your booty instead of your belly. The next step is front load protein and hydration. So the morning of Thanksgiving, you've got 40 grams of protein, electrolytes, and water. You'll stabilize your blood sugar and avoid overeating when you do that because protein is just so satiating. Again, you can extend this to all holiday dinner days. Have protein the mornings and at lunch. Add some berries for fiber and, of course, antioxidants. And because I love them, throw in some fermented veggies for a comprehensive gut health benefit. Keep the protein lean to be on the low end of the caloric intake. You'll roll into these parties a little depleted with a big appetite, and you'll truly enjoy the food and your company without concern because you're not stressed. Walk after every meal. Even walking for 15 minutes makes measurable differences in glucose control. Grab some people at the party and make it a group thing. Keep it social. Bring your friends and family with you on your health journey. After every single party this season, do the same thing. Grab a dog that needs a walk, whatever reason you can cook up. My suggestion is you keep the socialization rolling, which is also good for your health and longevity. And so you can just include that in your walk. Just you're having a conversation with somebody after dinner. You're sitting down. I know what that's like at the dining room table. And you just say, hey, let's keep this conversation going. Let's go outside and go for a walk. That's it. That conversation goes on for 35, 45 minutes, and you've got 4,000 steps in. It's fantastic. There are also some supplements that you can take to help with this as well. Certainly things like microdosing semaglutides, which is a very interesting hack, but this is not my area of expertise and it's very, very personalized. I use my Stark team docs for all of this, get my labs done and get professional advice. So if there are some supplements that can enable you to weather this holiday season with greater ease, or even pharmaceuticals, I would talk to your medical doctor about that and get some labs done and come up with that solution ASAP. And I know Thanksgiving is right around the corner, but the holiday season is almost 45 days long. So, doing it sometime at the end of November or early December is also perfectly fine. Sleep. So don't let post-meal fatigue push you into poor quality sleep. Avoid alcohol within a couple of hours before bedtime. I know that you may not be able to completely avoid alcohol, which would be what I would suggest, but do your best. This concept flies in the face of policy, kind of flies in the face of my personal approach with parties, but shutting down the house after every party. And I try to do that because I think that that's one of the most interesting parts of the party, when there's like 4 people left and you really get to know them. It's when the good stuff happens, the most interesting conversations, the closest relationships are built. But if you're suffering from the typical U.S. health problems, then don't shut the party down. Do everything I reviewed. And if you're advanced and have other needs like me, which would be to be social and develop those connections, I try to plan a late morning nap the next day or something to take the edge off of staying up too late. Here's my thinking. The social aspects of these get-togethers have a profound epigenetic impact. Things like laughing and bonding with other people and sharing meals. Even drinking brings humans together. So walking out of a party with a sense of belonging and a giant oxytocin hit is really important for all of us. And if you're metabolically healthy like I am, that really should be a primary area of focus for your health, not just being too strict, but loosening up quite a bit. That's what I'm there for. To give that too, by the way, I want to be there for others. So hopefully all that stuff isn't too confusing. I'll drink a little bit this holiday season, but I'll have a lid on it and maybe be selective those nights, 1, 2, or 3 nights at the very most. I'll also pick a night where I'll go hard and take an Uber home. I'm not going to feel guilty about that. I don't do it very often. I won't be hungover. I'll just be a little tired the next day, but with good memories and lots of laughter from the previous night. I'll be a little bit young and restless. So if you're into health optimization, this is a part of the actual program to be social and relax. You have to pepper your journey with these things. It may surprise you, but I'm really not rigid. I just try to alter the dosage of these things. So whereas I'll drink a lot periodically, and maybe for you it's every weekend, for me it's like once or twice a year. It has no impact on my health whatsoever. And interestingly, as I have these social experiences, I bet you I enjoy them more than most people because they're not as frequent. So I also want to encourage you to do what I would describe as enabling your mind. Thanksgiving is emotional. It's family, memories, sadly, the reminder of loss for some, and sometimes it's stressful. But your mental state determines your physiological response to all of those things. So here's how I stay aligned. I actually do this year round. I make sure that through this holiday season, I'm exceptionally disciplined around gratitude journaling. Just 3 things I'm grateful for in my iPad. Lowers my cortisol and increases dopamine. And when I'm at the dinners or the parties, I try really hard to be present. I don't turn dinner into a mental scorecard. Don't be that guy pulling a portable food scale out of your pocket. Just chill and enjoy this time that you've earned. Your body needs this too. And I know I'm speaking to really optimally healthy people right now about this particular topic. Some of you aren't at that stage, and so you have to be a little bit more careful. But for those that have been really exceptional for the entire year of 2025, or maybe even just starting in the early part of the summer and all the way through the fall, you've been really good. Be okay with the party. Be present. But you also need to set boundaries. So if you have things like family stressors, protect your emotional energy as much as you possibly can. Protect it as much as you would protect your nutrition. This one is my favorite. No matter what comes out of the mouths of my family members, my siblings, my in-laws, my close friends, I really focus on responding with laughter and love and appreciation that they're in my life. And I work hard to concentrate, kind of like mindfulness meditation, on the point when I revert back, when I'm affected negatively by something that they say, when I revert back to that younger version of myself who feels anger or annoyed or easily offended, which is really easy for me to experience. I recognize my 15-year-old self in that moment, and I pat him on the head. I appreciate his youth and put him back to bed so the adults can continue with the conversation. This all is flipping through my mind as I'm with loved ones. It's kind of like an exercise for me, like going to a gym, and one which elicits, I would describe as peace of mind and makes it easier to love the others that I'm there to love. So these emotional exercises I practice all throughout the holiday season and really all year round, but with a heightened sense of focus this time of year because it's just so easy to get derailed. All right, let's talk about the Rebound plan. So if you overdo it, no problem. Don't stress. Just don't let one day turn into a weekend or turn into a week or turn into a month or turn into a month and a half. That's where we really blow it. Every dinner is full of sugary desserts and lots of alcohol. And if you're on a proper health journey, you can handle easily a couple of nights a week at holiday parties. And you could certainly handle Thanksgiving dinner. That is nothing. So don't fast the next day, okay? Trying to make up for overeating on Thanksgiving Day. But eat light. Focus on hydration and eat lots of protein. Eat a protein-heavy diet the entire next day, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And remember, protein is like, you've probably heard me say this, kind of like nature's Ozempic. It's very, very satiating and very inefficient and takes lots of protein, lots of calories to actually assimilate the protein itself. And just to be clear, my concept of eating light is eating a lot of protein. It's not eating a salad with a bunch of dried cranberries and fatty and sugary dressings. Just lean protein, like a filet mignon or a chicken breast. And certainly train again within 24 hours. Sweat resets your metabolism and your mental state. If you're too tired, just go for a walk. Like if you stayed up too late, you had to get up early, just go for a walk. Keep your steps up this time of year. That's probably one of the most important things to focus on. Steps and sleep. The only way to do this is to turn it into a social venture. And as you're rolling into the holiday season as maybe someone that's obsessed with tracking everything, I mean, track how you feel. Track what you're learning about yourself and adjust for the next year. But don't stress about tracking data. The holidays are stressful enough. Just relax. If you can't track data, just eat a lot of protein and walk. Simplify it. Train before those parties. You'll be fine. Let me reiterate that. As you roll into the holiday season, if you're tracking your macros and doing everything else and trying to be perfect, relax. Just eat a lot of protein, get a lot of steps in, do some weight training before every party that you go to, and you'll be fine. You'll be fine because your body's not fragile. It's adaptive. The key is merely to stay conscious or to remain conscious of what you're asking your body to adapt to. So whatever you're doing, the message that your body hears is, this is who I want to become. But it's not fragile. You can easily have a beautiful and exciting and highly social and heartfelt holiday season and enjoy a couple of great meals and enjoy some drinks and come out the other end even healthier than you went in. So Thanksgiving and the rest of the holidays, they don't have to be your annual setback, which is, man, this is the way most people live. It's got to be, well, I can relate because that was me, but it's depressing to put so much effort in throughout the course of the year, make some headway, and then take all those steps back and start all over again in January. That is just far too common. It doesn't need to be that way. So with the right mindset and a little bit of preparation, it can be a celebration that fits within your health, that doesn't work against it, and set you up for a great leap into the next year, adding a little bit of muscle and getting a bit stronger. Don't worry about losing weight. Put those extra calories to work. Definitely do not put your health off until January. That, my friends, is the annualized version of yo-yo dieting that leads to the misery most Americans expect as they get older, and it is optional. If you found this helpful, hit like, subscribe, and share this with someone who wants to make it through the holidays stronger than they started. If you'd like to learn more about Stark, you can find us at stark.health. That's stark.health. Happy holidays.